What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the tower. I'm doing a module highlight today, and we're going to be going over death penalty. So this is a cannon module, and when an enemy spawns, there's a certain percent chance that they spawn and are marked for death. And what that means is that if they take any damage at all, they will just die. So you don't actually have to kill them with whatever you would normally, either just damage or like thorns or whatever. So it makes that enemy not a threat at all. And this does work on all enemies. So technically, whatever your chance is, there will just be that percent less enemies in your runs. So then there will be less enemies to deal with. And it can also get rid of the tougher enemies like bosses, elites, and fleets. So if any of those are a threat, this can help kill a few extra of them for free, which is really nice. So for the value of the unique effect, at Epic it starts off at a 5% chance to mark an enemy for death. And this is actually 33% of the value of the Ancestral. There's just 3 times less enemies that are getting instantly killed by the module. So going from Epic to Legendary, there's a 60% increase in the amount of enemies that are marked for death. Going from Legendary to Mythic, there's a 37.5% increase for the amount of enemies that are marked for death. And going from Mythic to Ancestral, this one's actually pretty similar to going from Legendary to Mythic. This is a 36.4% increase for the amount of enemies that are marked for death. And these two upgrades are really close because instead of only going up 3% like these two levels do, it actually goes up 4%. So just according to the math, I would say getting it to Legendary is pretty important if you want to use it. And it still does give solid value going to Mythic and Ancestral, but not quite as much as going to Legendary. So for the visual of this module, I'm currently using the lowest damage slider, which really doesn't let me kill any enemies. So any enemies that are dying are actually dying to death penalty. So I'll just let this play and you'll be able to see some of the enemies dying pretty much instantly when they get into the chrono field range. Just depends when they get hit by a projectile or chain lightning. There was an enemy up there that just got killed by the death penalty. It is kind of hard to tell just with so many enemies on screen, but they will usually die pretty quickly and they won't be a threat at all since they only have to get hit by one damage source and then they die. So as you can see there, that commander did get the mark for death and it instantly died pretty much when it got damaged at all by anything. So it's really nice when that happens on fleets. Also really nice when it happens on any other of the harder enemies like bosses and elites and stuff like that. So there's not much more other than that for the visual of the module. Moving on to the uses of this module. So outside of farming, this is a solid pick most of the time for tournaments and milestones and stuff like that. But you definitely don't want to use death penalty for farming. It will just kill enemies outside of your coin multipliers. So you're getting less coins from some of the enemies, which is just bad for coins overall. But when you don't care about that in tournaments and milestones, this is actually a really good option. This used to just be the best option overall, but it does have competition now with Amplifying Strike, since this actually gives you a damage boost. But if you're not using damage at all, then this is going to be the clear winner for your cannon slot. Either this or something like Astral Deliverance maybe, which could give you more bounce shot range, which leads to more crowd control. But I would say usually the effect you get from this is a lot better. I think the main thing it does is kill extra fleets that otherwise might have had a chance to kill you, and kind of lets you get farther that way. Could be the same thing with bosses if you're dying to them. But it's pretty much just another RNG factor to help you get further in your run. If you have the assists unlocked, usually it's going to be paired with Amplifying Strike like I mentioned. And I think for tournaments now, Amplifying Strike has lost a little bit of value just because of how fast the enemies actually scale. So if you have the assist slot unlocked, I think it is actually not a bad idea to try both as primary. Death penalty can help you get some extra luck just to get further, but then Amplifying Strike would give you the extra damage. So honestly, this is a solid option for either the assist or primary. I personally have been using it in the assist, just because I have the substats set up for the assist slot. Also, it does depend what your unique effect boost is at for your assist. Mine is only on Epic, so I only have a 5% chance to mark an enemy for death if I have it in the assist. But even just having a 5% chance is pretty nice, because it still does kill a few enemies. Moving on to substats. There isn't really anything special that you want to use for death penalty. It's mainly just going to be the regular cannon substats. So the 4 that increase your ultimate weapon damage are always going to be good, which are critical factor, critical chance, super crit chance, and super crit bolt. And if you have Spotlight Plus, damage meter also does that. Other than those 5 that increase your ultimate weapon damage, I think the most important substat is going to be multi-shot targets. I think this is the best projectile substat to have. And I also do like bounce shot chance. I think that's also a solid option. especially if you use Chain Lightning as your main damage source to get as many bounce shots as possible. This one increases your damage a lot. I also like bounce shot targets, but I don't think as many people run it. Just takes your bounce shot targets from 8 to 12 in tournaments, which is pretty nice just for the consistency, especially if you have a super high bounce shot chance. Bounce shot range is also decent. I'd have that on my death penalty. You can also run attack speed if you have a pretty low attack speed. It's just that the value of this substat goes down as your attack speed gets higher. There's also like multi-shot chance, but this one is pretty low priority for projectiles. There's also max rend armor multiplier, but this one is pretty specific if you want your poison swamp to do more damage to enemies that are affected by the poison swamp rend, which I don't think is usually worth it, but it could be in some cases. It's just pretty niche overall. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Let me know what module you want to see next. And if you have any other questions about the module or anything else, you can leave those in the comments. And yeah, see ya.